Hey guys, Rob with Tactical Garage here. Today I'm going to be installing the LT4 high pressure fuel pump into the 2016 Camaro SS along with the LT4 high pressure or the LT4 injectors as well. So just for those of you that are interested in the part numbers, I'll see if I can get those for you. So there's the part number for the high pressure fuel pump, and then back to the injectors there. So, and then there's the part number for the injectors. Okay, as you can see at this point, I've removed the Whipple supercharger from the Camaro. We're down to the point where we can get into the removing the high pressure fuel pump and also the injectors. I'll try to get over here. What I'm going to be doing here is I will be disconnecting the fuel line right here that runs from the fuel tank. So the low pressure line that runs from the fuel tank up to the engine here, and then there's a low pressure fuel line that runs here that connects into the high pressure fuel pump. That'll need to be removed. And then there's also an electrical connection back here that'll have to come off, and it looks like this connection right here, an electrical connection, might have to be removed just to get it out of the way so the fuel pump will come up out of there. And one thing they say on the fuel pump is when you're taking it off, you're supposed to remove these bolts. There's two bolts here. Remove those bolts evenly, because the fuel pump plunger could be under pressure, and to avoid any damage to it, they want you to remove that evenly. At that point, we'll have the other things that we'll need to take off before I remove the high pressure fuel pump. Is there's a line right here, fuel line right here, that feeds out of your high pressure fuel pump, feeds over into this crossover pipe here, and the crossover pipe feeds into the injectors. So after the high pressure fuel pump is out, I will be pulling the injectors out also. So this pipe right here will have to come off, and then the injectors will have to come out as well, which apparently can be a giant pain to actually get the injectors out. So we will see. Anyways, next up we'll start removing some of the parts here. Okay, a couple things I'll mention before I get started here. Of course, the negative battery cable has been removed, and the fuel pressure line has been depressured before I start anything here. Also, this is not meant to be any kind of comprehensive guide on how-to video here on how to do this. This is just to give you an update on what I'm doing with the car. So we'll get started here. Okay, there's the high pressure fuel pump. We'll put it up against the LT4 just to look at, see what the differences are. Okay, there's the two high pressure fuel pumps side by side. The LT1 right there, and then the LT4 right there. They are really close to the same size. It looks like the LT4 is a bit bigger. Not much, but just a little bit taller that way. And you can see it even looks like it's just a bit bigger everywhere. So we'll move on here. Okay, next I'm going to move on to removing the injectors, starting with the crossover pipe and then the injectors themselves. First rail and injectors out there. That actually came out better than I was expecting. We'll work on the other side now. The clip right here, the clip here that's going to have to come off. Of course, GM wants you to use some special $200 or $300 tool to get those off, as you can imagine. I'm planning on just going to use some snap ring pliers to loosen it up and slide them off is what I'm going to do. So here's the two injectors side by side. You have the LT1 injector there, and then the LT4. Really no visible difference between the two. They look the same. To get this one out right here, after I got that clip out of there, you just have to pull and twist, is all I did. And it has the O-rings in there, so it's suctioned in there pretty good, so you have to pull pretty good to get that thing out of there. Okay, what I'm going to try to show you here is I'm getting ready to put in the high pressure fuel pump here. And when you do that, you're supposed to make sure that the plunger down in here, I think the plunger is all the way down. So when you put the fuel pump in there, there's no pressure up against the fuel pump, and that needs to be all the way down. I'm going to try to which is apparently operated by the cam, so as the cam spins, it moves it up and down. And so you want it on the lowest part of the cam, on, you know, if you think about the triangle there on the flat part of the cam. Okay, the fuel rails are finger tight at this point. So next I'm going to kind of finger tighten down the high pressure pump. And as I do it here, I will be doing it evenly side to side to keep the pressure even as it goes down. Okay, so we got it just snug down there right now. Next thing I'm going to do is to get it torqued down. Oh. Okay guys, it looks like they want it torqued down to 18 foot-pounds, so I'm going to do 14 on each side and then increase.
Okay, 14.
Okay guys, at this point we have gotten most everything installed here. So we have the fuel rails back on, the new injector, the new high pressure LT4 fuel pump back there. We have the crossover pipes, everything's torqued down. Need to get the low pressure feed line connected up here, and then we'll be installing the Whipple back on. Okay, at this point, all I have to do is get the fuel line need to connect up the fuel line here from the tank, but that'll just snap right on. And I want to get a couple of hoses ran here with the Whipple and stuff before I do that. So we are pretty much wrapped up here. Again, this was the installation of the LT4 high pressure fuel pump and the LT4 injectors on the LT1 2016 Camaro SS. As always, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Next up here, we will be taking the Camaro to Kaizen Speed to have a custom tune done to see what the new dyno is with everything on it. Thanks for watching.